Yo dog, I heard that you like fitness challenges. If that's right, then you are in the best possible spot because in this video, I'm going to give you one of my all-time favorite fitness challenges. And it's one of my favorite fitness challenges because I created it. But first, I want to talk about why fitness challenges can be a good thing, even if often they are not such a good thing. You know, the difference between a good challenge and a bad challenge can make all the difference. A bad challenge is something that is unreasonable in what it demands of people. It pushes you beyond your limits. It causes you to burn out, maybe even get injured, and to ultimately become demoralized about fitness. That isn't what we want. A bad challenge is also haphazard. There's no clear logical progression. There's no range offered for people to find the place where they can be challenged, but also successful. In short, bad challenges just are not thought through very well. But there's an important saying: abuse does not negate proper use. And in my experience, challenges can be an absolutely transformative experience for people to get started with fitness and to build the sort of confidence and motivation to keep going with fitness. So a good challenge is something that, in an intelligent way, will occasionally push you toward your limits, causing them to expand. It offers a clear, logical progression. It is focused. It's not throwing too many things at you at once. And it's not focused on a gimmick or a fad, but instead a proven, effective principle, process, exercise, or method. With that in mind, I want to introduce you to one of my favorite challenges. It's one of my favorite challenges because I invented it, but I've been doing it for almost 15 years and it has produced results in literally thousands of people. It's called the 300 Swing Kettlebell Challenge. Let me briefly explain what this is about, and then I'm going to give you the 300 Swings Light program so you can get started with this and begin seeing some awesome results very quickly. So the 300 Swings Kettlebell Challenge, like I said, has been around for over a decade now, and the objective is simple: 300 swings, either every day or a certain number of days per week. The kettlebell swing, as we know, is a fundamental exercise. So one of the great things about this challenge is it teaches you, or I should say gives you the opportunity to truly master the fundamental mechanics of the most basic kettlebell exercise. I always tell people, hey, when you're doing 300 swings, don't think about doing 300 swings. Think like Bruce Lee. One swing, 300 times with great technique. So it hammers home a fundamental, not a gimmick. It's also something that can be scaled to various ability levels. There are ranges that are acceptable for success in 300 swings. You can use different weights. You can spread the swings out. You can do different degrees of frequency. Swing every day, swing every other day, swing 3 days per week. So there's ways to tailor the challenge to make sure that it is a reasonable challenge for you. It's also realistic. 300 swings is a good amount of volume, but again, it doesn't actually take that long to get 300 reps of the kettlebell swing in. It's a snappy exercise. We know it's one of the best exercises for just building kettle booty. It's an athlete builder. In fact, that's what Dan John calls the kettlebell swing. It is the fat-burning athlete builder. I love that name. It helps you to develop full body power. It improves your posture. It strengthens your back. There's just so much awesomeness that comes from this exercise. And this challenge, while focused and specific, is compatible with wider exercise programs as well. So it's not something that you have to do just entirely on its own. It's a nice complement to a wider, more general physical preparedness type of program. It's also exciting. It's got a cool hook. It's got a nice target. And it can be engaged with a wider community of people who are all doing this one cool, exciting, challenging task of 300 kettlebell swings together. And community is huge. In fact, that's one of the final benefits I want to mention to you, is that when it comes to a challenge, one of the reasons these can be so effective is they help to build internal motivation by first giving you external motivation. They give you accountability, community, support, and great results, which eventually will help to develop self-reliance where you become sort of intrinsically motivated to keep moving forward. I think that's one of the best reasons to consider doing a challenge, so long as that challenge is a good one. Okay, so now let me give you the 300 Swings Light program. Now, the full 300 Swings challenge often has people swinging every day. It's important to understand that if you do swing every day, that you tweak other variables like density and intensity. But this light program is a nice ramp up. It's 3 days per week. Even if you're relatively new to kettlebells, I think you can get started with this and start seeing the awesome results and benefits from 300 swings. So on day one, very simple task. You're going to perform 10 sets of 30 reps. Best of all, I have a full follow-along workout video of this very 300 swings routine on my YouTube channel. I will link it below so you can follow along. Now, since you're performing 30 reps, you should use a relatively light kettlebell for this workout. I'd recommend somewhere between a 12 to 16 kilogram for most men and somewhere between an 8 to 12 kilogram for most women. Your goal is to complete all sets as quickly as possible, but with good technique. So that's day one. Maybe you do that on Monday. Day two is you just flip it around. You'll do 30 sets of 10 reps. Now, if you're a math guy and you crunch those difficult numbers, that is also 300 reps. Now, because you're doing fewer reps per set, you will use a relatively heavier weight. So now we'll be more focused on the power aspect of the swing, where the previous one would be more focused on muscle endurance. I would go maybe 1 or 2 bell sizes heavier for this routine than you did for day 1. Now, day 3 is a little bit different because the reps change throughout the workout. You will start with a set of 10, then you will perform a set of 15, then you will perform a set of 25, and then you will perform a set of 50. And you will do that entire sequence 4 times for a total of 300 kettlebell swings. Now, with the different reps, you can actually vary the weight for each set. You don't have to. You can choose one kettlebell, namely a kettlebell that you can do 50 reps with, which would obviously be a very relatively light kettlebell. That's a lot of reps, but you can do it. I'm confident in you. Or you can assign different weights to each of the sets that you perform. So a heavier weight for 10 reps, maybe lighten it up a little bit for the 15, 25, and then just sort of go down the chain to use the lightest kettlebell that you have for the 50 reps. So there you have it, 3 days per week. I recommend that you train these on non-consecutive days, so something like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or a Monday, Wednesday, Saturday would be just fine, and run this ramp-up program for 4 to 6 weeks before you decide to either move on to something else or move into the full 300 swings challenge. And if you do decide to do that, we have lots of different 300 swings challenges throughout the years. Our most recent one is called 300 Swings Plus. This moves you up to swinging for 300 reps every single day, but again, we tweak the variables so that way it actually makes sense to have such a high frequency of movement. And if you want to learn more about that, I will put the link below. In the meantime, let me know if you are going to hop into 300 Swings Light, what you think about it, and how the workouts go in the comments. Strong on.